What's going on, you guys? My name is Slim. I'm over here on Crush Card's channel doing a deck profile for them. We're doing a video swap, so hopefully you'll head over to my channel and see their video that they did for me. Today we're going to be profiling Mekk-Knight Invoked with the NEOS package. The NEOS package completely changed the deck. It's crazy. It's a very easy 2-card OTK that can open up just a bunch of possibilities, and I think the deck is amazing in this format. Even with the new decks that are establishing themselves in the meta, I think this deck is still really strong, and it's a deck I really believe in. It's a deck I play a lot, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. I'm going to get into the deck profile, and I'll see you guys over there. Alright, you guys, as you know, Mekk-Knight Invoked, easily one of my favorite decks. I think the addition of the NEOS package really changed this deck. It really brought it another way to OTK the opponent quite consistently, even when you don't see like your regular combo, so I think it's amazing. I'm just getting into it for you guys. Some of you may be familiar with the NEOS package, some of you may not, but I'll explain it as we go along, as well as the ratios, because this deck constantly changes as the format changes. With different decks in the meta, you have to adjust your hand traps and ratios accordingly, but of course, Triple Alistair, it's like the namesake of the deck. It's the 1-card combo to make Makaba at worst. Like you guys already know, with the Almirage and the Secure Gardener, you can make a Makaba. If they make you go first, that's usually your combo. You just kind of end on that with some hand traps, so you just see if your opponent can play through it. This card's insane. I think the whole Invoked engine is nuts, and I'm going to keep playing it until they do something about it. Unfortunately, since every deck is starting to incorporate it, we might soon see the cards on the ban list, but hopefully not. For the Mekk-Knights, triple purple, this is really standard. I would never cut purple, ever play less than 3. I think this card is super essential. Like, it can just spin away. It's like an old school wind-up rabbit for those of you that ever played a wind-up format. This card's great, get to what you need, and it's just a big body that always comes back, so I really like it. We are playing a higher Mekk-Knight count, so we are playing triple blue. So usually I would play only 2 copies of blue, but we are playing Morningstar in the extra deck along with World Legacy Secret, which I think is a really strong trap card in this format. Obviously, your deck wants to go second. Being able to, your opponent not playing their columns properly, you literally just summon this, can search up to like 2, sometimes even 3 Mekk-Knights, which is crazy. 3 rarely happens, but 2 happens a lot because your opponent doesn't pay attention to their columns and they get punished for it. So these cards are just great. They're just free monsters, and of course they're all lights for Makaba. The 1 move man. Summonless play 2, I just like 1. You just usually always search this off blue because you link away with blue, and then this becomes your free summon, and then if you have any more Mekk-Knights, you just keep going. This card's great. This with Secrets is just broken because you can just move your guys around and then negate your opponent's monster effects in the column that you have Mekk-Knight, so it's fantastic. And then I do play 1 yellow, so I've been playing yellow over red for a long time now. I played this deck at the UDS. I also played it at the 3v3 with Agent Persuasion, one of my teammates, and we decided that we wanted to have yellow for all the back row decks. Now this was before we played the NEOS engine, but we wanted to have yellow for all the back row decks because if you do link away with one of your Mekk-Knights, having the ability to pop an additional back row is super important and the opponent doesn't see it coming. Worst case scenario, 2800 defense, so it's still pretty solid. So that's it for the Mekk-Knights. I like them all. Red is something you guys can play if you want to destroy monsters, but I just found that the back row removal was just more important. Playing 2 copies of Gamma Seal. Weakest Kaiju, number 1. Number 2, I think Kaijus are really strong in this deck going second. You want to just break a problematic monster. This also allows you to set up your column wherever you want since you choose the placement of the Gamma Seal. So that's really important, and I think that this is the best one you can play. Obviously, it doesn't work with our extra deck because we're not playing the Water Invoked, but that doesn't matter. Again, it is the weakest one, so it's a lot easier to get over than the other Kaijus. Like if you played the light ones or anything like that, they're a lot bigger, and you would have to basically play more cards in order to get around, and I'd rather not do that. I'd rather get more bang for my buck with just the weaker Kaijus. So 2 Gamma Seal, I really like this card a lot. And then in order to play the NEOS package, you do have to play what some people call bricks. You do have to play, of course, the 1 Elemental Hero NEOS and the Rainbow Dragon. So use NEOS Fusion, you send these, but the thing about these cards is that at worst, they're lights for Makaba, but another thing is that if you draw them, and I draw them a lot, you basically can just use them from your hand. NEOS Fusion lets you send from your hand or your deck, so if you do draw them, they do kind of brick your hand a little bit, but if you do establish Verde Anaconda, you can get them out of your hand, and then at least play with the rest of your hand. So believe it or not, even drawing them, you're not completely done. You can still play the game, and you can still properly establish Rainbow NEOS. So these cards are just essential for the combo and also to summon Rainbow NEOS, but like I said, they can also be lights for Makaba if you decide to go the route that you're not going to summon Rainbow NEOS. Hand traps, we play Triple Ash. It's the most generic hand trap. I think that every format you should be playing this. It's good against rogue decks, good against pretty much everything. I've always believed there's always a point in the game that you're going to be able to Ash, so I felt that it's just best to have it in your deck. It's also a fire for Purgatrio, so that's important. Also a target for Cross Sheep, so again, the little things matter with these cards, and I think you want to play the most generic hand traps possible this format.
Along with that, I do play 3 DD Crow. This is a personal favorite. I've been playing DD Crow a long time, and it just gets better every format in my opinion. Really strong against Eldritch. You obviously want to hit Golden Boy. Really good against any deck that does anything in the graveyard, and that's pretty much every deck. Crow is just solid. You can use it more than once. Again, it's another target for Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep's Revival, if it does come up, helps you link climb into Boral Sword. But I just really like DD Crow. DD Crow has always been the homie, so we're always playing DD Crow, especially this format. And then for the last hand trap, I decided on 3 impermanents. I went back and forth with the Gamma package, Veilers, Ogres, all kinds of hand traps. I tried all different cards, and I really liked impermanents. As you're drawing it for your 6th card, you can at least negate something and start playing. Your opponent can also play Into the Column, since they do that a lot when you're playing a deck like this, and impermanents can just punish them for that. So I wanted the most generic hand traps, and to me these were the best and most generic hand traps that could just that could literally go across the spectrum of decks and be effective. So that's why I chose these. You can play whatever hand traps you want, but I felt that these were the best ones, especially for the format that we're in right now. Even if it's online, we're still in a format. Onto the spells, pretty standard stuff. Triple Meltdown, of course. You need to get to your Alistair as soon as possible. We're also playing Triple Invocation. We play Desires in the deck, and I will explain that when I get to it. I feel that you need Triple Invocation though, because obviously Desires, you could banish multiple copies. You want to still have it in your deck for Alistair, and also if your Alistair gets stopped by a hand trap or something, hard drawing Invocation is fantastic because you just play right through it. So that's pretty standard. For blowout cards, I play Triple Lightning Storm. Now, I know people are going to cringe and say, oh my god, the card's so expensive. If you don't have access to Lightning Storm, you can play cards like Twin Twister, cards like Cosmic Cyclone. I prefer Cosmic Cyclone. I think it's one of the better cards to play because banishing the card is more important and you don't lose any cards in hand. It's a good 1-for-1. I just like Lightning Storm as a blowout card because this is the type of deck that going second, you need blowout cards against back row. It's also a Raigeki. People forget that, so that is kind of important. I do like Lightning Storm a lot, though. I feel that it's necessary in going second decks. Like, you need to be able to just blow out the opponent and then play the game. So that's why we play those. But like I said, if you don't have access to Lightning Storms, you can play any other form of back row removal. I just feel like the deck needs it, especially going second. 2 Desires. So I know people are going to say, why are you playing 2 Desires? You could risk, banishing the NEOS combos. And that's very true. But you have to remember that the NEOS combo is part of the deck. It is not the whole deck. It's not the reason why the deck is good. It's just an added layer to the deck, and it basically raised the ceiling of the deck a little bit. But Desires has always been strong in this deck. That's why you play Triple Invocation. That's why you play the 3-ofs. You need to get your pluses, and Desire is one of the best plus cards you can play in the game. It's just really strong, establishing everything, desiring after. Like, a good player will always search through Invocation first, so if you play the deck right, you'll be fine. And like I said, you don't always have to make NEOS, Rainbow NEOS, the main point of your deck. If you draw NEOS and Desires, just play play the NEOS Fusion first, and then Desires later. That's how I always play it, but I think this card is absolutely necessary in the deck. I've tried the deck without it, and I honestly did not like it. For the 1-ofs, I've got, of course, Mind Control, rest in peace, one of my favorite cards in the game. It's just too strong. This card's insane. I know, I can see why they put it to 1. 1 Terraforming, of course, is our 4th copy of Meltdown, and then, of course, the NEOS Fusion. This card is broken. Basically, I look at it like the legal version of Red Eyes Fusion for now, until we get Dragoon of the Red and we play Red Eyes Fusion in all our other decks. NEOS Fusion is really strong. Obviously, it sends the Rainbow NEOS and the Elemental Hero NEOS to the grave so that you can, summon Rainbow NEOS. It also has a protection effect that people forget. If your Rainbow NEOS would be destroyed by battle, card effect, or shuffled into the deck for some reason, you banish this and you protect it. That comes up so much. So this card is just fantastic. I really like it a lot. I play this deck a lot on stream. I stream over on Twitch, and you guys can see like a lot of my videos and whatnot. The NEOS Fusion has just been insane. They try to destroy it, forget that NEOS Fusion protects it, and you just win the game because of it. So it's crazy. And then just the traps. Triple Evenly. Obviously, we're going second deck. This is one of the best blowout cards in the game. Card is insane. I think every player should be playing this card somewhere, either in your main deck or side deck. It's just really strong. Obviously, you lose your battle phase, but it doesn't matter. If you clear the board and establish your Makabas and stuff, you should win. So it's extremely strong, and I think it's still necessary in this format. And the last trap is already mentioned, the World Legacy Secret. It's a monster born for level 5 or higher monsters. It also reads that it negates any monster that's in the same column as a Mekk-Knight. So you set up your Mekk-Knights. A lot of times you can play Mekk-Knight Beatdown, and you can just establish a World Legacy Secret, so then your opponent's pretty much out of luck. You negate all their effects. You can reborn Makaba too. So there's a lot of synergy with this card, and I really like it. So that's it for the main deck. Then just the extra deck real quick. Extra deck's pretty standard. I only changed a couple things as I updated the list, but for the Invokes, it's 2 Makabas, 1 Purgatrio, and 1 Kaliga. So this is the ratio I chose. I cut Instant Fusion from the deck. I used to play it along with Thousand Eyes Restrict and Raijin. I cut both of them. We're not seeing a lot of Droll, obviously, in the format. We're not seeing a lot of Wind Monsters in the format as much as we used to. So I cut them. They just Instant Fusion was a one-of. It was just something that I really didn't want to devote the deck to. It took extra deck spots that I didn't need. need, and when I discovered the NEOS play, I wanted to be able to play that. So I felt these were the best ones. Macabre, Purgatrio, and of course Kaliga is fantastic this format. And then the All-Star himself, Rainbow NEOS. This card is broken. Has 3 effects. Could shuffle back a monster, spin back all your opponent's monsters on the field to their deck. You can do the same thing with their back row by sending one of your cards. So what you do is, with the combo, you send Verde Anaconda, spin back all their monsters. If you're playing against back row, you send the Meltdown to the grave and you spin it all back. And then it also has an effect that you mill the top card of your deck and basically put your opponent's whole graveyard back in their deck. So it has a lot of great effects. I think this card's amazing, especially for a going second deck. This card could be a total blowout. Plus it's 45, so it's huge. Rest of the extra deck, standard stuff, the All Mirage and the Secure Gardener. That's the 1-card Macabre combo. We've got Cross Sheep. This card's fantastic in this deck. Obviously, like, helps you link climb into Boral Sword and other things. Verde Anaconda, card's insane. Makes the combo basically Alistair and Mekk-Knight. You make Verde Anaconda, you make Macabre, then you activate NEOS Fusion. Use this effect to activate NEOS Fusion from your deck, and it's insane. So, card is amazing. Then I've got Alistair the Mad Invoker, of course, and then the Morningstar. Card's great to search secrets. Just really sets up strong. People don't read this card. This card's amazing. Everyone knows, like, if people know about this card, they know that its effect is crazy. They can't destroy it if they don't read it. So, card's amazing. And then just some generic stuff. I have the Nightmares, 1 Phoenix, 1 Unicorn. Those are standard. I play the BLS link. This is one of my favorite links in the game. I think it's very strong, and you should have it in your deck. It's very good against control decks because you have so many big monsters. It's very easy to summon it with its own effect. So, it's just very strong, and it's very good against trap decks because a lot of times they have a very hard time outing it. So, card's fantastic. Its effects are crazy too. And then of course Boral Sword, because it's so easy to make in this deck. You make it a lot more than you did before. Cross Sheep just basically helps you link climb to infinity with it, so you just make it and it's crazy. So yeah, but that's it, you guys. I hope you guys did enjoy the deck profile. Again, if you guys are wondering what the 2-card combo is, I have it over on my channel with the same deck profile. I'm sure there's a link in the description or somewhere. It's just SlimYGO, and hopefully you guys did enjoy. I think this deck is amazing. I think that I've always liked Mekk-Knight Invoked. I've always liked what the deck can do, and I think the deck will continue to do more amazing things in the upcoming formats. But yeah, hopefully you guys will check out my channel. Also check out my Twitch. Maybe they put it in the description as well. I stream almost every day. We did a lot of streaming with this deck, so that's how we arrived at this list. But I really like this list a lot. I hope you guys do too. Again, thank you Crush Cards for featuring me. I'm glad to have them over on my channel as well. They're a very fast growing channel, very, very dedicated to what they do and very good at what they do. So I hope you guys will continue to support them as they continue on. They're going to be an amazing channel to watch in the upcoming future and pretty much every day whenever they upload. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Just give it a thumbs up if you did, and hopefully I'll see you guys over on my channel. Thank you for watching.